Flight Boss, bitch. You know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Terry Smooth. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, we're going to talk about being spiritually attacked. That's right, being spiritually attacked in this motherfucker. And we're going to talk about how each element gets attacked, a.k.a. your zodiac sign. So, you know, you got 3 zodiacs per element. We got 4 elements. So you got Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. That represents earth signs. You see what I'm saying? You got Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. That represents fire signs. You got Pisces, Scorpios, Cancers. That represents water signs. And you got Aquariuses, Libras, and Geminis. These represents air signs. And you can get spiritually attacked through these filter systems. Now, what is a filter system? An element. So if you are made up of a certain element, aka you created all your chakras and all your lights and egos and current wheels and stuff like that, your solar system, you created that in a certain element, aka for me, for example, my sun and moon is in fire. So I created my solar plexus, my sun sign, and my Merkaba, my moon sign. I created those in fireplaces. You see what I'm saying? So those are the filtering system or those are the material that I use to create my light and create my body of water. You see what I'm saying? I utilize the fire element. Now, the fire element can play as a filter system for other spirits that resonate with that energy to be able to possess or attack me or use me as a vessel at the moment. So you see what I'm saying? So keep this in mind. So spiritual attack can go in many different ways, but I'm just trying to break it down how it can play out. Now, you can get spiritually attacked just by default also, being in the wrong space, wrong time. AKA in the wrong space, being in the wrong state of being. You got your being in the wrong place, in the wrong state in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensional realm. And the way that government and law work in that place and all the spirits and bodies and how that whole organization work there, you might be always breaking the law. So for the most part, keep that in mind. You might just be in the wrong space, wrong time, to the point that you end up getting caught by the Galactic Federation of Light. You end up feeling guilty, feeling judged. You know what I'm saying? You end up feeling like you did something wrong, regretful. You end up downing yourself. You end up putting yourself in a delusion. Therefore, you know you're in a spiritual jail. You already got judged. And then now you locked up now. And the more and more you put the energy and the percentage into why you feel guilty and things of that nature, knowing that the why, all the terms and the meanings and the reasons you put behind the why, you need to know that's an illusion. So you might have been following a spirit that have taught you that, and you drove and followed that spirit all the way to that state, to the point that you just live in that state of being. You ain't got a license, and now you got to learn how to get with the laws, but you don't truly know the slang yet. You coming across wrong the spirit. This shit is deep. Shit is deep. You see what I'm saying? But we're going to get into all that. So by default, you can get spiritually attacked sometimes by being in the wrong space, wrong time. You know what I'm saying? That's following the wrong spirits or having the wrong ideas or imaginations on your mind that you ain't even spiritually supposed to be involved in, that don't even correlate with your spiritual direction. Alright, so basically being spiritually attacked is when you got a focused stream of thought or a focused idea. So you know when you receive a thought or an imagination and start to bounce it back and forth with your own internal system, with your own transverse, aka you start to filter it through your solar system to see if it makes sense to you or not, to see if it's something you're going to agree with or not. Boom, that's when it becomes your idea or imagination that you put out into the frequency for it to vibrate, and someone else can pick up that energy force and see things from that perspective. But for the most part, right, when you focus in on one of these things, right, and you got it, boom, you got an imagination that you want to add on to and go that direction, that stream. You don't want to change thought or change feeling or vibration. You want to stay in this one and add on to it, right? Now, here's when you know you're getting spiritually attacked. The moment you start to get redirected. Now, what does it mean to get redirected? First, it's going to come in a form of thought, an idea that may redirect or try to change your point of view of that imagination or of that stream of thought. The moment something comes, try to redirect it, you might think that's just you, but it's really not you. You're getting spiritually attacked right now because spiritually, you're traveling through the astral realm, and you're traveling there through a spaceship. Now, this spaceship is what you have created as that thought or imagination, right? So, for the most part, when you jumped into it and flown there, you went into another space. Now, there's already beings in that space. So this is what you need to understand. There are already beings who have came up with artillery or came up with spaceships and ideas and a concept on how to reach that space. So when you go there, you need to know you're never nowhere in this universe alone. Keep that in mind. I don't give a fuck if you in a closet and locked in a room in the pure darkness. That doesn't mean you're alone. Keep that in mind. Now, check this out. Once you go there, right? Now, once you get in that space, now here's how you know you're getting attacked by spirits that's trying to help you or spirits that's trying to harm you. Now, once you get there, once you start to have a bunch of negative thoughts or a bunch of negative feelings and emotions, that lets you know you're getting spiritually attacked by spirits that's not in your good favor. You see what I'm saying? That's how you need to keep that in mind. And if you put yourself in a situation, now I'm on the other phone, so I don't know where I'm looking at. So if it look like I'm not looking at the camera, y'all, I think I am. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, oh well. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, look, when you know you getting attacked by spirits that's trying to help you, and when I say attack, that's just getting hit by an external reference. So for the most part, you can get hit by something positive and you get hit by something negative. You know what I'm saying? When people hit the lottery, what do they say? Boom, that's something positive, right? Now, you could dissect how that's negative or positive until you lost consciousness and things of that nature, but that's besides this video right now. Right now, we're just breaking things on the surface level so everybody can understand what's actually going on when you're getting spiritually attacked. And this is for all my atheists and everybody out there also who don't believe in the spirit and may want to attach this to a certain body response or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's still going to help you out slowly but surely. So, you know, especially when you get into a circumstance where you know you're getting a helpful attack, right? Or someone or a spirit that's trying to help you out of a circumstance or a situation. These would be the spirits that give you good ideas, give you good feelings and emotions that'll help you go through with it. Now, reason why I said spirits in your good nature and spirits that's not in your good nature, because here's the thing. When it comes to your spiritual nature, you in general might be a negative spirit. Or you in general might be a positive spirit. So what's good or bad for you may not be good or bad for another spirit. So that's why I made that disclaimer. This is how you know when a spirit is good for you and when a spirit is not good for you. See, once I start to use shit like an angelic spirit coming to you or a demonic spirit coming to you, that's going to be real biased and egotistic because, you know what I'm saying, when you sit back and look in the mirror at your own life, you probably more demonic than everybody you be cursing out calling demonic. So you got to keep that in mind. Now, getting into the scenario where we want to talk about the signs, right? The actual signs. Now, let's start off with water, because water get affected the fastest. Now, reason why water get affected the fastest in this realm of reality, because water is the most transparent physical shape and form. So water is technically not even really physical. You just can physically touch it, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? It changes from a gas, liquid, solid at a more rapid state than the other material that you see here. So for the most part, water is the closest thing that you can see as fire. Now, y'all might think that sounds weird, but it's, in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, that is not weird. Water is actually condensed, cooled off fire streams. Bodies of water. It's a cool off version of it that can be condensed and be sustainable to the point that it can be a realm of reality. A group of lights, a group of molecules. You see what I'm saying? So, for the most part, see, now, getting into the water signs. Now, you guys can get spiritually attacked through your emotions. So just know that you guys are not technically getting spiritually attacked by your logic and rationality. So don't be kind of always side-eyeing air signs. You're not always getting attacked due to how you see things. So don't be getting mad at fire signs where they try to change your perception about something. And you're not always technically getting attacked when it comes to someone try to make sense out of something and someone try to make sense out of your emotions and feelings. So don't always get mad at earth signs. A lot of times you be your own worst enemies. You need to know that, you know what I'm saying? And you push off your own hate onto others because you could be emotionally, you could go through emotional distress, you know what I'm saying? Now, when you go through emotional distress, or you may be a person that go through a lot of emotional balances, you know how to handle your emotional balances and things of that nature due to the fact that you're still dealing with water. Here's the thing. You need to know that you're getting spiritually attacked through that filtering system. So, reason why I brought all that up is because a lot of times y'all may look at a fire sign like, no, this person's trying to change the way I see about things, and lash out on them. And lash out on the air sign like, this person's trying to change the way I think, and they talking to me in a way I don't feel. Or you might lash out on the earth sign like, this person too dry, they trying to make sense out of something, and nah, this is how I feel. Almost to the point that you fail to realize that the spirits is not attacking you through those filtering systems. So once you realize that, sometimes you have to sit back and be like, oh, that might have been good advice. You know what I'm saying? Because you're getting attacked through the emotions. So a lot of times when you're not into astrology or anything of that nature, or not, don't watch me, then you may still attack people due to the fact how I just explained. You deal with your own worst enemies. You get spiritually attacked through the emotions and then lash it out like you getting attacked by this air, fire, or this earth sign that's actually trying to give you some advice. Now I'm not saying that's all the time. And motherfucker, keep your discernment. Y'all know what's going on. But I'm just trying to give you another perspective, because this video right here is about being spiritually attacked. And you need to know if you are a sun sign, water sign. Now, this is not necessarily dealing with the moon and the moon, because the moon is who you are. So it's already what you resonate with. And it's what you connect with. And it's what makes you feel comfortable. And it's your ability to feel familiar. So anytime somebody take you out of your moon sign energy in that space, it makes you feel uncomfortable. It makes you want to put up that fighting energy. But the sun is your ego, your solar plexus, everything you creating, everything you're manifesting here. It's how your moon actually looks here. So it's the tool that your moon is using to actually go out and get shit done. So for the most part, that's what you're going to create in front of you, what you're going to manifest. So that's the shape and form that spirits can actually see as a light to go to see if that's the energy that they resonate with or not. You know what I'm saying? Based upon the information that's in that light, that body of water. So keep that in mind. And other spirits want to go into that and start to create themselves. Same way like you are a spirit. When you see another person with an idea or an imagination, right? And you want to add on to it. That's you jumping out of your own body and going to swim, skiing, and seeing where they're coming from and adding on your imagination to it. Whether it's a negative or positive one, that's based upon your spiritual nature. But that's what you're going to be adding on to their day or their nightmare, their chakra. You get it? We're all doing this with each other. And when we all know we're doing this with each other, that's how we know the world got created. You know what I'm saying? So a world is just something that a collective conscious agree on. That's why we can change the world. Simple shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, when we get into the fire signs, right? You guys can get spiritually, and me also, we can get spiritually attacked through the through our ways of seeing things. So fire signs, like I said, we could be our own worst enemies when we may lash out on air signs, where we feel like air signs is trying to change the way we think about something. Then a lot of times we may lash out and we may be like, nah, I see it this way. I see it this way. Then, or I feel about it this way. A water sign, we may lash out on a water sign because we might think they're trying to make us see something in a different way. And they're trying to make us have a more broader perception of how we feel about that. And we might only see one way of that feeling. And we don't know the whole surrounding of that feeling. So we try to express too fast. And to the point that we may lash out on the water sign because we think the water sign trying to change the way we see about something. And it's not that. Because they're coming from a perspective of water. But if you're not into astrology and not knowing your own elemental energies, then you're thinking everybody coming at you in your own elemental energies, and this is how you become your own worst enemy and be fighting your own demons and be getting attacked by your own spirits, but be lashing it out like it's other people attacking you. You know what I'm saying? So you start to jump into an infinite regress of a blame game type of energy in your life. You're creating all them circumstances. But then you would lash out at an earth sign, because then you would think that these people is trying to they might be trying to change the way that you're making sense. They might be trying to make sense out of your creative abilities. They might be trying to make sense of how you see things, because you might not be clearly practicalizing it, you know what I'm saying, and making it into a shape and form. It might just be a broad imagination. But here you go, you might be thinking they're trying to change the way you see something. So you start to catch feelings and shit like that and lash out on the earth sign. And you need to understand that it's not that. See, once you understand, you flip it, then once you know you're getting spiritually attacked through the way you see things. So don't take your spiritual attacking demons and lash that on the others like these air, earth, and water signs is doing that to you, because they might be just giving you advice. But like I said, once again, that's not all the time. That's not 100% of the time. But now that you know this form of energy, now that you know, sometimes you can sit back and look at yourself and be like, hold on, I might be the demon this time. You see what I'm saying? I might be the one that's overthinking, overacting this time. I might be the one that's not taking advice and need to take it this time. See what I'm saying? Same with, like with the air signs. You might be thinking they're trying to change the way that you see something, but they're trying to give you another thought about it. They're trying to communicate, and they're trying to find a way to communicate it about you, but you think they're being competitive and opposing as a fire sign. So you lash out on them because you think that the air sign is trying to change the way you see something. And you got to get out of that. You see what I'm saying? So you need to know, as a fire sign, you're getting spiritually attacked through the way you see things. So you need to be very careful with the with the things that you put into your perception, the things that you watch, the things that you listen to, the things that you involve yourself into as far as actions that you pay attention to, and the things that you choose to feel, because you're always going to express how you feel. But it's your choice to feel. You know what I'm saying? It's your choice if you want to feel negative about it. It's your choice if you want to feel happy about it. As a fire sign, you don't be having no choice but to express it. Even if you're a passive fire sign, you don't have no choice but to express. People see that passiveness off you. So, you know, people may even temper you at times to see that temperature steamroll. You know what I'm saying? So as a fire sign, to protect yourself, you know what I'm saying, be aware of the things that you pay attention to. And same with the water signs, to protect yourself, be aware of your surroundings and be aware of the emotional state that you are in. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be attacked through your emotions. You see what I'm saying? So the environment, how it's vibrating, that attacks your emotions. The people you're around, that attack your emotions. You see what I'm saying? So these are the people, places, and things. These are the environments, and the people in these environments is going to dictate how that vibration is getting received. But each environment is going to be vibrating regardless. That's why every neighborhood is correlated different. You got some Bloods in the neighborhood, you got some Crips in the neighborhood. Now, they don't know why they woke up one day and based upon the history that Crips started there, but for some reason there was an energy signature that made blue one of that spectrum in that neighborhood, other than the other neighborhood that got red. So you see what I'm saying? It goes deep into a lot of spiritual natures. But you know, and when we talk about the West Coast, they dealing with a lot of old spirits that came from Eastern. That's another video. But because when we talk about like weed and stuff like that, and when we talking about, once we start to talk about the eastern continents and start to talk about Asia, this is where these kind of plants and things of that nature get derived from. And then once these spirits come and settle through the water, they always settle the way the wind blows. So this is why even when you get to America and going to the latitude of the West Coast area, right, a lot of these spirits settle there. This is the same way how the sun, which I want to quote unquote call set on the west. You see what I'm saying? And rises on the east. So the settling is going where the traveling, and this is where old spirits that may have used to be in bodies now taking new bodies. But they're still spirits that's wise and wisdom and have a whole bunch of experiences here. You get what I'm saying? So this is why the weed is the best on the West Coast, and the more this is a whole nother, man, this is telling y'all. But for the most part, we get into motherfucking see, reason why I brought up the water and the fire signs first, because they get spiritually attacked the fastest, because these are the lightest shapes and forms. You know what I'm saying? These shapes and forms get developed in the 4th, 5th, or 6th dimension, in the subconscious realm, before you start to develop your spaceship and vehicles and your light spectrums and molecules and air vehicles and and the ability to have oxygen and shit like that, to see waves, to see a travel of events, to see a travel of shape and forms here, in order to keep doing that, to accumulate, to appear to be solid, and then to become earth. So for the most part, this is why water and fire signs get attacked spiritually the fastest, because that's your soft spot. When we talk about your soft spot, that's the lightest cloths, the lightest concepts, the lightest lights, your macabre, your egos, your light bodies that you have created for yourself, for your spirit to go into, to be aware of itself. So when someone start to try to attack your light, your soft spots, they're reaching closest to you. They're attacking a space that's closest to you. This is where you may start to get the most offensive and defensive and things of that nature. And then that's when your real spiritual nature start to get into attack. Your real fighting nature. Then that's when you really realize, oh damn, we really is fighting for space in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. And yeah, your ass traveling where I've been at already. You see what I'm saying? Once you start really going through places in the astral realm, your ass start to understand life. You know what I'm saying? Now when you get into but air and earth signs do get spiritually attacked. It is a lot of times it goes through so many filters that they might even chalk it up to say that it ain't got nothing to do with being spiritually attacked. So, you know, you air signs and earth signs got to slow down sometimes and pay attention to water and fire signs so you can sit back and be like, yeah, that is right. That is right. Let me, because y'all air and earth signs can teach us water and fire signs how to console our spirit. So we don't get spiritually attacked and it overwhelms us. Because you guys get spiritually attacked, but it don't overwhelm y'all because y'all already don't even look at it like that. Y'all look at it like logical and rational and making sense out of it. And so a lot of y'all come to the conclusion that it ain't even got shit to do with that anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? So, y'all get into debates just like arguing with people who's into that. So it goes deep, but for the most part, y'all can teach. We all can teach each other. So, you know, it's now getting into air signs. You guys get spiritually attacked through the mentality, through conversation. You know what I'm saying? So y'all got to be careful what y'all be listening to, the kind of music y'all listen to, the kind of conversations that y'all have. I know y'all like to gossip. Y'all like to get into a lot of different business and stuff like that. But air signs, it's important for y'all. Y'all get attacked through the motherfucking conversations that y'all have and the shit that y'all listen to. Not too much of how y'all see things, not too much of how y'all feel. Y'all ain't really dealing with that water, fire, and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And not even too much of making sense out of things. Because y'all can have 1,000 ideas come to y'all and y'all just blurt it out like with word vomit. So a lot of times, you know, it ain't even really dealing with that. But it deals more with that than the transparent bodies, water and fire. Now, when we get into the air, though, you know, you guys get attacked through that. So y'all got to be careful. Because a lot of times y'all may lash out on the fire signs, thinking the fire sign is trying to change the way you think about something. Where the fire sign is trying to give you a new perception, a new angle, a new direction, a new way of seeing something. But you might be like, nah, I think this way. To the point that, see what I'm saying? You may not go through an experience that fire sign was trying to get you to go through just based upon saying be free a little bit. Then when you go to the water sign, you may lash out on the water sign because you may think the water sign trying to change the way you think. Well, really, they just trying to give you they trying to add some emotional empathy onto you. And not so much empathy, but like just some type of emotional concern. Therefore, you don't just be thinking logical all the time. You can actually sit back and be like, okay, my actions might affect others in this way. See, but you'll lash out at the water sign thinking that they're trying to change the way you think, when really they just trying to give you a broader perspective so you can see that the way how you're talking right now is affecting people deeper than what you think. You know what I'm saying? You might be coming across thinking you talking all smart, but a water sign would give you the perspective that you might be making a person feel like they're dumb right now when they're not dumb. And a person might be getting ready to slap you in your face when you were thinking you're coming across being smarty pants by being a normal air. It's deep. Then you might lash out at the earth sign, thinking the earth sign might be trying to change the way you think. Well, really, they're just trying to make sense out of all the shit you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? The earth sign might be trying to come to you to be like, look, that sound good, but that don't make sense. We can't do that all right now. You got to practicalize and let's schedule things of that. But you in your mind might be thinking the earth sign trying to change the way you thinking about this idea. So you might say, man, fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about. And therefore you go do something unscheduled like and fuck up everything. And if you would have listened and had a little patience like the earth sign told you, your ass would have sat back and not had to fight your own demons. You see what I'm saying? Now, like I'm going to tell you, like I told the water and fire signs, this is not 100% all the time. But now that you got this nature, now you can sit back and understand sometimes where you might be the worst enemy. See what I'm saying? And getting into my motherfucking earth signs. Like I said, y'all motherfuckers is going to get attacked through the motherfucking what makes sense. So a lot of y'all earth signs, y'all get attacked through y'all materials. Y'all get attacked through the people in y'all life and the things that y'all have. So even if you just feel like you have a certain value system, a certain morals, certain things that you value, if you feel like this is something that you have and you're willing to cling on to it, that's an earth-like quality. These are the things that you get attacked to, earth signs. These are the things you get attacked through. So pay very close attention. Don't be just going out and buying everything thinking that this thing that you buying represents this. And thinking that you need this because it's a form of stability. Some of these things is naturally possessed and just is packed with thousands of spirits just ready for you as an earth sign to take it so they can haunt your ass every day. Keep that in mind. You'll find your ass going broke every day for these things. So you get attacked, you get spiritually attacked through these things, and it change your ideas and all kind of concepts and make you start making sense about shit that don't even necessarily make sense. So keep this in mind. Check this out. Earth signs, you might even lash out at the air signs thinking that they're trying to change the way that you're making sense out of something, change the way that you're practicalizing something, and they're just trying to give you more ideas, but you're too fixated and stubborn and consistent on one idea, and you may stay stuck on that idea for years that you don't even have to, and therefore you end up lashing out at your fellow air sign and being your own worst enemy once again. Like I told you, pushing your own demonic spirits and the spirits that's attracted to you onto them, thinking that they're trying to change the way that you're making sense out of something, and they're not. They're trying to give you a new perspective of how to think about something. Like I said, you're getting attacked through how you make sense and how you practicalize something. You're not necessarily getting attacked through the intellect and the air. So don't push that on an air sign when an air sign is trying to give you more ideas about something. Don't look at them like, oh, you're trying to change the way I'm making sense out of something. Nah, I'd rather take step by step, even if I never make it. Fuck you. See what I'm saying? And now, like I said, I'm like I said for all the three other elements, not all the time, but now that you understand the science, you'll be able to sit back and be like, okay, I might be the demon this time. Let me, before I react or act, let me observe that first. See what I'm saying? Now, you might, earth signs, you might even lash out at, the water signs in a way of them thinking that you think they're trying to change the way you're making sense out of something, and they're trying to give you an emotional sense of something so you can know, so you can understand, have a sense of emotion, have a sense of passion, you know what I'm saying, behind what you're doing, so you don't be so dry, so you don't put yourself in a situation like being around a water sign. They will remind an earth sign that it doesn't matter how much you're buying, how much you're trying to get, or even if you're not you don't have a lot of money as an earth sign, but so you do a lot of things as far as actions, as far as to create a status because you want to be seen in a certain way, especially if you don't got the money, or you don't got the credentials, or you don't got the access to be seen in a way you really want to be seen. Earth signs will go to an extremes as far as doing actions and making themselves a part of other people and stuff like that just to get that status if they don't have the material version to get it. Earth signs will go extremes actions to do it. You know what I'm saying? Now they know how to organize. Y'all earth signs know how to organize some shit in this earth realm. And remind you, earth signs rule this earth realm because we in a space full of stars that resonate with the earth energy, the earth element energy. You see what I'm saying? Which is patience, practicalizing, nourishment, growth, stability, scheduling, making sense. You see what I'm saying? Reality, realistic, stabilizing, crystallizing, honing in, forms, shapes, all that shit. That's the feminine energy. You know what I'm saying? But it's the left feminine. So it's the feminine yang. See what I'm saying? I mean feminine yin. No, I mean masculine. Yeah, it's left brain. So it's upper. It's upper. Left brain yin. You know what I'm saying? Left brain yang is air. And you got right brain yin is water. Right brain yang is fire. See what I'm saying? So you guys may even lash out at the at water signs because you think that they're trying to change the way you make sense out of something. They're trying to give you an emotional perspective about it. They're trying to get you to understand that don't put yourself and stress yourself out thinking that the only way people are going to continue to like you if you keep getting this, or keep being this way, or keep having this, or keep having this status. Learn how to sit back and emotionally connect and have concern and discernment, and you will be able to understand you can get from point A to point B in that area of life a lot faster, and you can save all the frustration and trial and tribulation of working hard and trying to do this, that, and the third to create a status when all you had to do was show a form of connection. See, earth signs, y'all forget that. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all can't do that. Y'all so dry and cold. You know? And then a lot of times you guys may lash out at the fire signs because you think the fire signs is trying to change the way that you make sense out, that you're making sense out of something, and you already looking at the fire sign, especially and the water signs, but especially the fire signs. Like, you motherfuckers don't even look like you make sense. Which I ain't gonna lie, sometimes we don't, so I give y'all that. But for the most part, sometimes you gotta sit back and jump in the spirit by looking at it. So, you know, don't lose the spirit and become too dry and logical to the point that you become too stressed out on your own mentality. and life doesn't even have to be that way in the way that you kind of scheduling it, but you learn how to relax a little bit from us fire signs. You know what I'm saying? We make you free up a little bit. So you can see, sometimes you may lash out at us by thinking like we're trying to change the way you're making sense out of something, when really now we're just trying to give you a new perspective, a new perception, a new angle, a new vision, a new way of seeing, a new imagination, a new visualization. You know what I'm saying? So you can see it another way. You know what I'm saying? How you see it may be too fixated and rutted. You may see it in just in this reality, but things could take off in many different realities. Now I give it to you again. The way we see it may not be ever in this reality, but at the same time, it gives you new ideas and imaginations to add on to this reality. So we help each other. You can help the fire sign practicalize shit, and we help you add on to and change shit up and switch shit up to the point that your business can flourish a lot faster. You know what I'm saying? And things could be a lot more mobile. You know what I'm saying? So shit could be a lot more melty and don't be so rutted to the point that everything look deserted after a while. By being in a dry state. But like I said, this is not 100% of the time, but it can be, long as you know, but it can be in this energy spectrum, long as you know this energy now. So, Flight Boss, bitch, goddamn air, and this is how you get spiritually attacked. And we're going to go a little deeper into this, too, because I want to go into each individual sign. Because once we break down the modalities and the sign and the stars that rule each sign, it goes a little deeper than that. And I want to talk about what actual spirits attack us on a day-to-day basis, you know what I'm saying? The actual spirit that was in the movie Bird Box or whatever and shit like that. But that's just here or there. But where the concept actually got derived from, this is here. All the way going back to motherfucking Abraham, the first motherfucker who started summoning demonic spirits, that started giving y'all the ideas that y'all need to sacrifice. Y'all need to sacrifice to this demonic ass spirit and shit like that, whatever like that. So he summoned one of the first spirits that made y'all learn how to kill animals and shit, to think that you need to manifest or get across some child. Man, we gonna go deep into these motherfucking actual spirits. You see what I'm saying? Flight Boss, bitch, goddamn air.